Welcome to the Complete Performance Exercise Breakdown. Today we're diving into step-ups. Step-ups are a great lower body exercise that can be used in either a strength fashion or a cardio fashion. They're great for your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, and down to your calves. They're great for teaching you how to better balance, move, and go up and down stairs as well as some other day-to-day activities. Let's get into the technique of step-ups. First, know that I'm going to show these in a strength fashion, but if you're looking to add a cardio version of step-ups into your workouts, you just need to increase the pace of your steps. So, as you can see, I'm standing in front of a bench here, but know that you can use a box, an exercise stair stepper, a Bosu ball, or the stairs in your house. The most important thing is that the height of the box is going to be challenging, but not too difficult for you. If we get a box or an object that's too high to step up onto, we put that hip and that low back in a pretty stressful position and really make that joint work harder than it needs to. By picking a box that is maybe not high enough, we're not going to get the full benefit of the exercise. Think to pick something that brings the hip at or around parallel to the knee joint here. Now, let's get into the actual technique. So for step-ups, I'm standing in front of the object. My first move, I'm going to drive the knee straight up, put the foot up all the way onto the surface, drive through the heel, stand all the way up on, then slowly lower myself back down. Note that dependent on what your goal is, you may switch sides every rep, or you may complete an entire set on one side before switching to that opposite leg. Let's get into a few common mistakes. The first common mistake that I see is people like to swing their leg up and around to get up onto the box. Now what that does, that takes away the hip flexor and the quad activation. So what you want to think is drive that knee straight up. If you notice that that's a mistake that you commonly make, then start with a lower step, one that puts your hip above parallel, and that's okay, but work on driving that knee up and teach yourself the proper movement pattern. The second common mistake that I see is driving through the toes of the foot. Now what that does is that takes away from the use of the glutes, quads, and hamstrings. Those are the primary muscles of target in a step-up. But what it also does is it puts a lot of stress on the ankle and the Achilles joint. So make sure that you put that heel all the way up onto the box and really drive through the heel. The last most common mistake that I see is not standing all the way up onto the box. The goal and the purpose of this exercise is to work on extension of the hip joint. So if we're not standing all the way up, we're missing that full extension. We're missing out on full range of motion. So when you're standing on that box, start by driving through the heel, and then once you're up at the top, squeeze the glutes to really push the hips through. Let's go through proper technique one more time. In front of the box, drive the knee straight up, foot goes on, drive through the heel, squeeze the glutes, fully extend, and slowly lower back down. Now you're ready to add another great lower body exercise into your training program.